last time I was with you, you did that. That was stuck in my head for forever. And just the way you do it too. It wasn't even the actual song. It was just the way that you do it. So it gets stuck. It was our freaking birthday party. It was our birthday party.
Good evening, everyone. Real quickly, I want to introduce myself in case you don't know me. Most of you do. I'm Toby Burrell, but my role here is that I'm the liaison between the Swain County Athletic Hall of Fame Board of Directors and Swain County Schools. And so on behalf of those two organizations, we want to say welcome tonight. And we appreciate you being here. This is a special time for us, and we didn't get to have it for a couple of years. And we're so happy to be able to get back and do this in person, face-to-face again, the way it's supposed to be done. So we appreciate y'all being here tonight, taking part of your Friday night to spend with us. We want to thank you for that. We want to thank the folks outside who are watching us on the Maroon Devils Network live right now. We appreciate you as well, and your support for what we do here is amazing. We have a special night in store for you. It's a great class. You're going to enjoy this a lot with what we've got going on here tonight. We do have a little different format than we've done before. We hope you like it, and it'll play really well, we believe. We want to take a moment to recognize the Board of Directors. If you're here and could stand, please. Our Board of Directors, they're listed on the back of your program, but most of them are here tonight, so give them a big hand. John Patel. This is not an easy endeavor to go upon. The last couple of years we've experienced some bumps in the road with being able to get the stuff we need to be able to do this, and unfortunately we've done that again this year. Our plaques are not here. Our inductees will not be getting their plaques tonight, but we're going to make that up. As best I know, the company is telling me that they should be ready next week, so we're a week late, sorry. But we'll make that up to you, and we'll get them to you ever how you want us to do that, whether it's individually or whether it's, if you want us to do it at a basketball game, we'd love to have you back out and do that as well. We do have the team awards tonight, and we'll take care of that as we move along. But again, welcome on behalf of the Board of Directors and the Swain County School Systems. We thank you for coming out tonight, and we are in awe of you who are going in and joining the legends who are already in our Hall of Fame, a most worthy class of 22. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to my partner and colleague and the master of ceremonies for this, the Swain County Athletic Hall of Fame member and now a board member, Mr. Gary Ayers.
All right. It's kind of strange looking out and seeing darkness. That's no, I'm just kidding. You know, ladies and gentlemen, over 20 years ago, the late Robert White, himself a Hall of Fame member, had a vision and led the charge to create our Athletic Hall of Fame. Helped by a lot of folks who shared that vision, today we celebrate our 20th annual induction class. It's hard to believe the 20th anniversary of the Hall of Fame inductees. It took a group of people who combined that vision with a lot of hard work, and we continue to see the fruits of our labor here tonight. That vision and work ethic has been handed down to us through the years by many former Maroon Devils, like Phil Brittenall Sr., Carol Wright Jr., who we saw last night, and it was so good to see Coach Wright. His dad, Carol Wright Sr., and again, Carol Wright Jr., Delmar Robinson, a name that so many of us know, but sometimes we forget that was such a driving force in that stadium, in that field house. Coach Boyce Dietz, Coach Pee Wee Jones, who was Coach Carol Wright Jr.'s head coach when he was hired. And you know, that vision and that hard work, it's still alive today, thanks to the efforts of people like our Hall of Fame board chairman, Bob Marr, and our board secretary, Bob Thomas. These guys do a lot of work behind the scenes that you never see. People like Chuck McMahon and Jamie Fisher up there, They're the driving force who really put in a lot of time and effort to get our golf tournament going. It was supposed to be tomorrow, but that weather kind of got in the way, and we're going to have it in November. But Chuck and Jamie do a lot of work with that golf tournament. Many great athletes, many great coaches, many great teams, and many great patrons have established and continue to add to our unsurpassed tradition. And tonight, let's celebrate and appreciate this 20th anniversary class. Are you ready? Oh, come on, you can beat that. Are you ready? All right. First of all, our first inductee tonight, Dr. James Cosby. A long time ago, when I was a neophyte radio man back in the late 1970s and early 80s here at WBHN, Jim Cosby became our school superintendent. Jim was also a visionary. He had a driving desire to see Swain County build a new football stadium, and also hired many of the coaches who are Hall of Fame members today. Some of them are here tonight, and led us to such great success. Jim understood the media better than most academic administration leaders, and really welcomed myself and Smoky Mountain Times editor Pete Lawson to become part of his vision. And with Jim's help, we started a weekly radio program called the Swain County School Report. And with the help of my direct school contact and friend, Mr. Burt Williams, the late Burt Williams, we went out every week and talked to school and community members and leaders about practically every facet of our school system. And we actually won the 1983 North Carolina School Bell Award for Excellence in Education Journalism, thanks in no small part to the efforts and just the support of Dr. Jim Cosby. Almost every day on the radio back then, we were talking about the schools or our athletic teams, because thanks to Dr. Cosby and so many people that he worked with, they were such a focal point then of Swain County. Everybody in some way, whether small or large, had a part in being a team member of our Swain County school system or our athletic teams. And Jim, you deserve a lot of credit for making our schools and our athletic teams important to all of us, as you were an avid fan and a great supporter. Thank you for all your work. Welcome back, and congratulations on your induction here tonight, as your certificate will be presented by our board chairman, Mr. Bob Marr.
Great honor for me to present this to Dr. Cosby. He hired me at Swain County Schools, and I thank him so much for that. He's been a great influence and educator of lives down through the years. He made a big difference in my life. So congratulations, Dr. Cosby.
Thank you so very much. And please, someone tell me that I look a lot better today than I did in those pictures if they were showing up there. I can't believe I was ever that young. It was actually this past August, 55 years ago, when I first came to Swain County. I was a beginning teacher, came here, worked for 2 years at Alma Elementary School. The second part of that 2 years, I had my wife, but we got married. And we've had 37 wonderful years together. 37 out of 54 is not bad. But so, Jim, thank you for being here. I also have other family members here. My oldest son, Corey, is here. Corey graduated from here. My wonderful daughter-in-law, Crystal, and 2 grandchildren, Bryce and Laura. Thank you for being here. We also have Dylan Huffman. Dylan is the Public Information Officer for Asheville City Schools, where I work now as superintendent, and he's here to get a few pictures. So if you see someone running around with a camera, that's what he is. But I was telling June last night when we were driving over for the football game, you get just about to the Whittier exit coming this direction, and suddenly it feels like home. Because we were here from as superintendent from 1978 to 1989. And a long time ago. So we left here in '89, so it's just amazing to me that almost 35 years later, that I would be coming back to get this kind of award. But I've stayed in touch, and I've been here, and I've visited many, many times. When I came here in 1978, I was the youngest superintendent in North Carolina. Now, as superintendent of Asheville City Schools, I'm the oldest superintendent in the United States. So that's a pretty good range. But thank you, Bob, and thank you to the board for this wonderful award. It does mean a great deal to me. I appreciate it much, and will always love the room numbers. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, our next inductee, Mr. Mitchell Green. Mitchell Green was not only a leader and a vital part of that undefeated 2004 football team, he understood the old coaching phrase that is very true, and that is, there is no I in the word team. And why do I say that? Mitchell had been a running back his entire football career, but entering that magical senior season in 2004, we needed help on the offensive and defensive lines. And Mitchell stepped up to the task. Boy, did he ever. Mitchell was named the Smoky Mountain Conference Lineman of the Year. He was an all-Western North Carolina lineman. And to top it off, he was named the defensive most valuable player to cap off that perfect season with the 2004 state championship team. And Mitchell and some of his teammates were more than just players. They were leaders. When some of the guys got out of line, Mitchell and some of his captains took ownership of that team, and when that teammate got out of line, Mitchell and some of his senior teammates made sure they got back in line. Mitchell, it's hard to believe that was 18 years ago, 2004. But I was watching Mitchell last night as we were presenting some of these awards and some of the information at the football game, and I think Mitchell Green was the most uncomfortable man in the Swain County Stadium last night. So anyway, but Mitchell has a great personality, and every time you see him, he always seems to be wearing that smile. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mitchell Green.
I was very fortunate to have seen Mitchell play all of his years as he played here in Swain County. And my, what an athlete. And my, what a leader of young men that he was on the field. So it's a great honor on behalf of the Swain County Swain County Board of the Hall of Fame and the other honored inductees in the Hall of Fame. It's an honor that I present this to you, Mitchell.
I'll be honest, I ain't no big speaker. I never been, but I had to write some stuff down. Thanks everybody for coming out tonight. And I'll be honest with you, I called Cody this morning and said, you're going to have to put one more speech together. And he turned me down. He said, it's your turn now. So this what little bit I got together. It ain't a whole lot, but a Swank County football player is all I ever wanted to be growing up. It wasn't basketball, baseball, nothing. It was always just football. You hear these stories of people like Johnny Buck Mitchell, Heath Shooter, Ronnie Hornbuckle, and my uncle played on them teams. And man, that's all you wanted to be growing up. And I just worked towards that. And my teammates, I had some buddies on that team. And we was like brothers. I mean, we growed up together. And all we ever talked about was winning state titles when we growed up. I mean, it wasn't about who made the tackle or how many touchdowns you scored or yards. That didn't mean nothing. We just wanted to win, and you know, that's all it really meant to us. And that's all we ever looked forward to, just to be honest with you. I had a cousin on that team too. He pushed me a lot. He never knowed it, but he was a better athlete than I was. But I didn't want to let him outdo me. But Casey was off a good football player. He means a lot to me still. And there's some folks I want to thank. My mom and dad for pushing me. My dad's probably the hardest working man I've ever been around. He just works all the time. He's a tough guy. My mom, she's that mom. If you do something wrong to a kid, she's gonna get you. You know. I got two kids. They go to school here. I love this school in this town. I mean, it's all. They ain't gonna go nowhere else and play or do nothing else. It's it. And I had some coaches growing up that helped me a lot. Bobby Ayers was my first youth coach. He coached me all through youth ball. I'm sure all these same guys had Bobby. He was a good guy. Coach Jeff Marr took me in JVs, and he was my coach for 3 years there, and I thought a lot of Jeff. And Greg Barker kind of took me under his wing and done a lot of stuff with me. You know, he'd come get me, take me to lift weights and stuff. And that meant a whole lot to me. And Coach White, he done a whole lot with me. I mean, he worked with me on some linebacker stuff. I was slower than smoke. I don't ever play linebacker, just to be honest with you. But he done a lot for me, and I really appreciate that. And I'd like to thank my wife. She's here. She's been with me since, I think, the 8th grade. I want to thank her and everything we've done together. Thank y'all, and God bless.
I tell you, Mitchell's probably the happiest guy in the building right now. That's over with. One thing about that 2014, as y'all know, I work with Coach Rod White on Friday nights, and we get to spend a lot of time together and broadcast these games, and it is so much fun. But you get to learn a lot about some of the past players and some of the past teams, and Coach White will be the first to tell you that 2014, a lot of games. Wow. They didn't have to do a lot of coaching because these guys knew what to do, they got it done, and they worked hard every week, and it showed on the field all season long. When you have a perfect season like they did in 2004, that's very, very rare. So congratulations, Mitchell, and job well done. Next is another guy that we've come to know and love for so many years, and that is Mr. Sam Patel. Sam is one of the most humble guys you'll ever meet. He's always been that way. He doesn't like to be in the spotlight, doesn't want any part of it, but tonight we got him. He's going to be in the spotlight for it. It may not be long, but he'll be up here in the spotlight briefly. And I have an idea that he too will feel a great sense of relief when this ceremony is over. So, but I was thinking back, there aren't many father-son inductees in our Hall of Fame. Folks like Carol Wright Sr. and Jr. and Phil Brittenall Sr. and Phil Brittenall Jr. and of course John, Bob and Jeff Marr, Rod and Cody White, and now Bob and Sam Patel. Sam is like his dad in that they were both very aware of the world around them and were quiet leaders. Bob, with his engineering expertise, was very instrumental in making sure Swain County Memorial Stadium was not only constructed, but was first class in appearance. And of course, Bob is in our Hall of Fame. And Sam, like Mitchell Green, changed positions from receiver to quarterback his senior season. A lot of you might not remember that, but he did. And he got it done and was not only a quarterback, but was a key leader on the 1979 state championship team that finished perfect, 14-0. And Sam just kept giving back, becoming head football coach in 2009, won a state title as the head coach in 2011. Yep, we're honoring that team here tonight as well. And oh, by the way, Sam is unique in yet another way, as you saw on the screen. He's the only person in school history to have won a state championship here at Swain County High School as a player and as a head coach. He's unique in a lot of ways, and we appreciate all he's done for Swain County in so many ways that we can't say. Mr. Sam Patel.
I was very fortunate to have coached against Sam when I was at Cherokee High School, and he was the quarterback here at Swain High, and he actually beat us, and I've given him a hard time about that all these years. I was also blessed to work alongside him in the central office. I've coached with him, and he's a good friend of mine, and I like what Gary said about him. He's a very humble individual, and it's a great honor that I present you this award.
Well, I told my former superintendent I was really nervous. He's here tonight, Dr. Cosby. My coaches are here. I feel like I'm in school all over again, not wanting to say a word. But I am humbled and I appreciate this opportunity, but I didn't do anything. We did. As time passes, enjoy seeing people that may want to. I enjoy seeing my former coaches, my teachers, and my players. I also have cherished the time of coaching with individuals that are here tonight. And they really mean a lot to me. Swain High School and Swain County Schools have been a major part of this community. I'm so blessed and fortunate to be a part of that, to grow up in this community. I always felt like my coaches really cared, our teachers cared. They were always there when we were in need or major events happened. Our coaches and the coaches that had coached me, they were not only football coaches, basketball coaches, track coaches, but they were people that cared about you. And they always set a great example And I hope that I walk in their footsteps and did the same thing. And I am honored, and I appreciate this. I also appreciate just the relationships that I've had the opportunity to make along the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Over the years, people like to ask, what's the most exciting play you've ever seen in Swain County football history? Well, that's an unfair question in so many ways because we've had a lot of exciting plays. We've won a lot of close games. But one of my favorite plays was in 1979 when we were at Maiden High School, basically freezing to death. It was so cold down there that night. In the state 2A playoffs, Maiden had a great tradition. They were Devils too. They were the Blue Devils. Well, we were the Maroon Devils. We were down there and Maiden put 6 on the board, didn't get the extra point. And then late in the fourth quarter, Sam Patel found Lewis Crisp down the right sideline for a long touchdown pass. It was tied at 6-6. And I like to gig Toby Burrell about this. Toby was over on the sideline. Back then, coaches wouldn't let him wear gloves. You got to be tough, man. I mean, you got to be tough. It's cold weather. You got to be tough. No gloves. Matter of fact, a lot of cold nights, the coaches wore shorts themselves. They were trying to set the example. But Toby had to come in with those cold hands and try to take the snap, put the ball down so Greg Welch could kick the extra point. But thank goodness, Toby got his hands warm. Greg kicked the extra point, and we won that game 7-6. And I'll never forget that play as long as I live. And Mitch, 2014, I think my all-time favorite play by an opposing team was when we were playing for the state championship down there, and that snapper snapped the ball over the punter's head. It went out of the end zone. That was one of my favorite plays as well. And we went on to win that state title game, and that was my favorite all-time play by an opposing team. I can still see that football sailing over the punter's head out of the back of the end zone. I'm like, yeah, we got him now. We got him now. But everybody has their favorite plays, and there have been so many good ones over so many games and so many years. Our next inductee tonight for our 20th anniversary of our Swain County Athletic Hall of Fame is Mr. Gary Reese. Gary Reese is a man whose heart and his willingness to help others is larger than his physical stature. I know. Many years ago, when the Swain Recreation Park became reality up at what was then an old golf course up near the hospital, the youth teams, the high school teams, and the adult softball teams began playing baseball and softball up there. As a broadcaster, I would go up there and broadcast Swain softball and baseball live, but to do that back then, I would have to literally run about 100 yards of telephone line that was hooked up to the payphone at the concession stand, then run about 100 yards of extension cords for electricity to run our equipment, especially down there at that lower softball field where Jerry McKinney's girls softball team played. And then after the game, I'd have to roll all that wire up again. Well, little did I know, Gary Reese went up there, spending his own time and his own money, using his own equipment, dug a ditch all the way from the concession stand to behind home plate where we broadcast from. Gary put phone lines and electric lines in that ditch, covered it all up, and also ran those lines across the parking lot to the then larger baseball field. And he also installed the phone and electrical outlets and never took a penny. Gary Reese was my hero. Coach Rod White told me last night that when he first met Gary, he thought he maybe had been a running back as a player because there was no way he was big enough to be a lineman. But they became fast friends and they coached together and they helped build that 1979 state championship team. And Gary, maybe the greatest compliment that someone could give you came from your head coach, Carroll Wright, that you saw last night as we honored him and you guys who played for him got to see and talk to him and meet with him last night. Coach Carroll Wright called Gary Reese the best defensive player I ever coached. And Coach Wright coached a lot of very good ones. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gary Reese.
Tell you a neat story about Gary. When he showed up to play midget football, they told him he was too small, and they wouldn't even give him a uniform. This is a true story. And Gary had his own uniform at home. He went home and got his own uniform, put it on with his pads and everything, and came back to practice. I watched Gary through school, and he followed me after, I don't know, I was probably a senior and he was a freshman, I guess. But I got to watch him play. And everything that's been said about him is certainly true. Gary has been a dear friend of mine down through the years, someone that I could always call or count on that he would show up. So it's a great honor for me to present this award to you on behalf of the Swain County Athletic Hall of Fame Board of Directors and the previous inductees, Mr. Gary Reese.
I'm a little bit nervous, like Mitchell.
They said you were short.
Yeah, well. And I'm not nervous because I have to speak before some people. I'm nervous because every time Bob Marr and Joe Myers get together, they pull some kind of stunt on me. And I fall for it. But Joe didn't get to come, and I might be safe this trip. I want to tell you a story about a 7-year-old boy that had a vision. My mother, when I was 7, asked me what I wanted for my birthday. And I told her I wanted to go to a football game. And it so happened that year, 1957, Swain played Silva, and Swain fans boarded the passenger train down near the depot, and we went to Silva, and the old stadium was at where Watson Park is now. We got off the train right there, went through the Cowee Mountain Tunnel, went to the ball game, and Swain beat Silva that night. We loaded back up and came home and went through the tunnel again. I was like a big-eyed boy at a picnic. I knew right then I didn't just want to be a football player, I had to be. When they told me I was too small, I weighed 91 pounds. Actually, in the program they said 94, but they were lying about that. And but I loved the game. I had a good midget season. I met Choo Choo Justice that year He was probably the finest running back North Carolina ever had. He shook my hand and he said, "Gary, I enjoyed seeing you play." And that meant so much to me. After midgets came high school. And as a freshman, like most people do, I sat on the bench. At the end of that season, I vowed I would never sit on that bench again. And when the season was over, I started lifting weights religiously. I would lift 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. I never missed a day. And the next year, I didn't sit on the bench anymore. I was faster, stronger, and quicker. I had 2 really good years after that, my junior and senior years. I got to play against some great athletes. Tommy Love from Silver. He played for Michigan State, started as a sophomore. Gary Phillips played for Army. He was a fullback. He knocked this tooth out right here. And I'm so proud of that. Jim Savage from Andrews played at Clemson. He hit me the hardest I've ever been hit in my life. It was on kickoff, and it was a short kick. Sir Savage and I met, and he didn't juke, jive, or dodge. He meant to run over me. I was 155 pounds. He was well over 200. And somehow, by the grace of God and a whole lot of luck, I knocked him down. And I didn't want him to know how bad I was hurting, so I jumped up real quick. And when my vision cleared, he got up. And I put my old mean face on. He shook his head like that. And I put my old mean face on, and I looked at him, and I just nodded real slow like that. As if to say, "Bring it on, big boy." But you know what? I was lying too. I didn't want that big rascal to hit me like that again. But that's still a great experience. I had some very wonderful experiences. I met, when I started coaching, I met Frank Howard from Clemson. I heard Lou Holt speak in person, probably the greatest, one of the greatest college coaches around. I met Danny Ford. Met many college coaches, and I always appreciate that. But what I appreciate most is our fans. We couldn't do without you. I want to thank the people that thought enough of me to give me this honor. And I want to thank my coaches over the years who taught me, not only taught me to play football, but taught me how to live. And most of all, I want to thank God for giving me the ability to play the game well. Just thanks for everything. Thank you.
Now we can raise this microphone back up. I only say that because I love Gary Reese. He's one of those guys that you look up to when you're growing up, because he always gave it his best and then some. And now this bunch here sitting down front. I don't know about this bunch down here. We're going to have two guys come up and talk about them. And I say that, guys, with all due respect, because we know a lot about this 2011 State 1AA Championship team. We're going to have Lee Patel and Colby Heinek come up in just a minute after we watch this great video. Curtis is going to be sacked at the 47. 61. Welcome to Austin Shore. He's got a first down. Swank the throw, running for his Swank. Pass pressure down the middle. There's Matthew Manley on the pick. Back around the left side. 40, 45, 50, Manley, 45, 50. Colby Heinek back to throw on third down, right side. Got it up in the air, it's going to be complete. And he's all the way down to the 10-yard line. First down for the Maroon Devils. Makes the snap, turns, and he's going to keep it going straight up the middle down to the 15. And spins his way down to the 10. 5, and he's in again. Second touchdown in a row on 2 plays.
Wow. Colby Heinek took it into the end zone. It's enough to Hoseway breaks it up. It's into the end zone. Touchdown. Swain County and Hoseway Alpero. Whee!
Never gets old winning this thing. I've been real fortunate. We played for 10 state championships while I was here, and I'm so fortunate to be here.
And our community, what a great turn. And it's just an unbelievable day for Swain County.
The referee on our sideline, he said, "Is there anybody left in Rising City?" And I said, "Bud, we canceled the Christmas parade." I said, "When we come down here to win this thing," I said, "they would postpone Christmas to come down here. Our fans, they will follow." And we had a great crowd, just like we have this whole playoff run. And that's what it's all about for us. We told them this week that, we're going to be the home team here, and we'll have the most fans here out of anybody that comes here today. And I tell you what, they showed up, and we appreciate them.
Out for the entire playoffs, all 5 games, and it was no different today. But I tell you what, bottom line, it says a lot about the character of these kids and the fact that, a lot of teams would have mailed it in last week, a lot of teams would have given up this week when we got tired. We just kept going and kept making plays, and it's just a credit to them and their work ethic and what the rest of these coaches have done this year.
Down, 5 yards to go. Ball at the 17-yard line of Swain County. Big play in the game. In fact, they have put Ramirez out there.
Whether it be a fake, but if not, they're kicking the field goal.
34-yard attempt, kicked it right in the back of the line, and that's a live ball. Ramirez gets his hands on the back of the jersey. Jared Turbeville in Swain County. I don't necessarily know you call that a block because the kick never really got airborne.
No.
But that's a huge play for the Maroon Devils. It turns the tide. They're driving to try to win the game. Hyatt down the seam. 2 guys are there for 8. Ripped him with a great catch made by... Oh, Matthew Manley.
Outstanding. Fingertip grab. He's been one of the playmakers all season long, and in the biggest game of the season, he comes up big on that particular play.
By Hyatt, not a whole lot of pressure, great ball. They managed gets behind both defenders.
I was gonna say, places it the only way. See, the safety was there to make a play. He didn't find the receiver, but he saw the ball over his head, but he placed it where only his guy can catch the football.
It's unreal. It's just the greatest feeling in the world. There's nothing like this right here. And winning on my dad's birthday, I mean, this makes it that much better.
3 to play. 3rd down and 6 for the Maroon Devils. Hyatt keeps on his feet to the 10, to the 5. Another 1st down for Swain County.
Nice play by Hyatt. And Swain County wins this football game. I'm going to throw his name out there right now with 2 minutes and some change. He's most valuable player in this football game because watch what he does here. He fakes a dive. He should go outside. And he's following the running back. I mean, this kid has done some great things for his offense. But what he did, he saw the seam, and he just follows his mouth.
Austin Schuler out there and leading the way. And that keeps the clock moving. The ball at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Swain County. Give us Joe. Schuler, touchdown. Austin Schuler. This one from 5 yards. And Swain County, with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the 4th quarter, has a 6-point lead at 20-14.
That was one of the best ones I've seen in a long, long time. I really congratulate the team, the coach, and the community. What a great ball game.
Don't win easy, do you?
Nothing's ever easy. And I tell you, what a ball game. Eden Griffith, they are a great football team, and we earned the state championship. This was so tough, and it could have gone either way at any time. And our kids, just for so long, they just endured, and what can you say?
He runs out of the shotgun. He runs to the left side. Turns the corner. He's got some room. 25-30, 35-40. Look out, 45-50. And he is long gone, Steve. He's going to catch Cable.
Darn it.
And he scores. He scores from the line of scrimmage, which was about the 19-yard line. Winner tonight will play the Eastern champion. Could be Wallace Rosillo. They pop it out to the right side. This time it's going to be West Montgomery to the house again. Look out, but another touchdown run. Receivers left and right. Snap goes to Cable. Timing pattern, end zone. It's touchdown. I know there's so much football left to play. We're just getting started, but this hole is getting really deep. Here comes Cable right up the middle. He's trying to fake the handoff, and he's going to score again. He's 23 yards out on a perfect play action fake of the shotgun. Gets the snap. Here comes pressure. Sets up the screen. Josue is there. He's got a lot of room at the 35-30, 25-20. Down inside the 15 is Josue all the way down to the 8-yard line. And that screen play worked to perfection. They're blitzing. We really caught him on that. Colby under center. He's going to run straight ahead. Is he in? He's close.
Swain County.
It's down to 10. Colby in trouble. Secondary. Score.
And Swain County.
Colby Heinek.
The shotgun. Ayers. Timing pattern left side. And it's a battle. Manley on the interception. Back out to the 10, 15, 20, 25. Knocked out of bounds. But that was a... Manley just out-wrestled the receiver for that foot. Colby back to throw now. 24 seconds to play before the half. Here comes the timing pattern left side. Sideline. He's going to score. Goes crazy.
I'm telling you what.
Unbelievable. From a 28-0 ball game, and it's now 28-20.
Wow, way to go, Cody Ranch and Colby Heinek.
Championship round next weekend. Oh, ball knocked down. There's Corbin Panther. He jumped up and slapped it away. First down, hands off left side. Here's Josue in the secondary. Score. And it's going to be time.
Oh, there goes. All the way to the house. When he got past the line of scrimmage.
It's got a 10. West Montgomery There's still a lot of football to play to decide who's going to be playing next Saturday. Cable. This is going to be lifted by Cody Rich. West Montgomery go for it on 4th down and 4. Colby Heinek under center. One wide receiver to the right side. Colby going to throw down the middle. Back. Time to that. Wants to fire down the middle. Oh, it's got 6-yard line, penalty flag down. We may have a defensive pass interference, and he's still caught. Henley the holder. Evan Sneed, good snap, good hold. Has the distance, it looks perfect. And it is
good! It's good! All right! Evan Sneed kicks it to the outside. 3 points, 37 to 35. Swain County on top of 33 seconds to play the ball.
He's going to be rushing 4. He has pressure. Capable steps up. He's going to throw it down the middle. It's going to be intercepted. And here comes a C.J. Shepard on another great interception. This one's over. 2.5 seconds. Set on the field following a huge comeback as the Maroon Devils win it here tonight to move on to the state 1AA championship next Saturday. Joining us now is Maroon Devil head coach Sam Patel. And coach, one of the greatest comebacks in the history of Maroon Devil football, down 28-0. Our guys really never stopped believing, did they?
No, that's a kiss from one of my former principals. I don't know if it ought to be on the news or not. But yeah, our kids were the ones. I was thinking, you know, this is going to be 200-0. And the speed, we adjusted to it. We just kept hanging in there, and that's what these kids are. And we're proud of them. And I told a couple on the sideline, win or lose, well, we came back and just had a competitive game at the end. I thought, man, we did well to get back in this.
See if I can get your old head coach, Coach Boyce, to come over and chat with us here in just a minute. Coaches, you can get in here with Sam. This was an unbelievable football game tonight, to say the least.
Well, I'll tell you what, all these years, maybe win one more game what we did. That made all I ever witnessed. God darn, Coach, it really did. It was just, Pete Sheeler and I was up there at halftime, and it was 28-14, and just a few seconds, and I told Heath, I said, I know what I do. And he said, I do the same thing I said on this, and go in at 28-14. And after that touchdown, Coach, we're sitting up here.
And we tracked down the guy that kicked the game-winning field goal, Evan Sneed. Evan, gotta ask you the same question. What was going through your mind when you went out on the field to kick that field goal?
I knew everything was riding on it, and I knew I had to make it, so I was just visualizing. That's the hash I prefer to kick from, so I just knew I had to make it and finish the game for us.
Well, joining us now is quarterback Colby Heinek. What a game, Colby. I mean, did you ever think we were out even down 28-0 here tonight?
I know, we were rolling a little bit, and I thought, you know, we might be able to pull it out. We got to, after halftime, I knew it was going to happen then.
Yeah. What do you think was the turning point in the game? I know there seemed like 25 turning points, but in your mind, what was the real big play of the game for us, you think?
How Swain broke that long run. That broke them right there.
Yeah.
That's what broke. That's what we talked about all week, was their breaking point, and that was it right there.
Yeah. You guys played great on offense, great on defense, didn't turn the ball over. They turned the ball over some tonight, so that had to play into the game as well.
Our defense, man. The Sharks. What do you expect? They're awesome.
It's were you a little bit nervous when we lined up to try to kick that field goal?
I didn't even watch it. I had to close my eyes. I couldn't even watch it.
Well, I tell you, I think everybody in the stadium was holding their breath, but what a feeling it is to go play for the 1A state championship next week.
It's awesome. We never felt like anything this before.
Well, Colby, congratulations. Great game, and we'll be down there next Saturday. Good luck.
Thank you.
Colby Heinek, quarterback for the Maroon Devils fans. We'll have more in just a moment.
Lee Patel recognizes the most outstanding offensive player.
The outstanding defensive player, Austin Schuler.
They've got those flipped. Patel is the defensive player, Schuler is the offensive player, and your game's MVP will likely be Colby Heinek. That's wisdom. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the most valuable player for this NCHSAA state championship is Colby Heinek from Swain County High School.
Well, Colby Heinek did enough. I shouldn't say he did enough, he did it all.
He came back and made something happen for the football team. They picked up big first downs. He's making plays. He had a big, huge impact on the game.
Just a dynamite throw in that spot there where he found that handler. That led to the game-clinching touchdown. 2 of those touchdowns scored by Austin Schuler. No bigger award going to an individual than the game's MVP. And he's standing by with the road Jim Connors on the field. Jim?
Cole, you had that game under control for a half, but they certainly made you sweat it the second half.
Yeah, I had a key mistake, and that got them momentum, and then we just bounced back there at the end, and we got it done.
What are you thinking when your defense still has to get the ball back for you because they come all the way back?
I knew they could do it. They've done it all year, and I have no doubt in this time.
How much is it when you're playing for Swain County with the history of championships to come out here and get it done on the big stage?
It's nothing. This is how we're going to be remembered. This is crazy.
Go enjoy it with your teammates. Congratulations. Back, Sarah.
Colby Heinek, the game's MVP. And the Swain County Maroon Devils are your 1AA state champs. Fantastic performance put on a number of fronts, offensively, defensively. But in the end, it's Swain County winning it by the final of 20-14 over the Chargers of Aiden Griffin, who trailed 14-0 at the break. Got the game tied up. A dynamite fourth quarter, a dynamite finish, and a dynamite state champ in the 1AA ranks, the Maroon Devils of Swain County.
Wow, what a great video. Let's keep giving Joe Holt a hand. Joe Holt put that video together with all those great clips from all those great games. Wow. Good job, Joe Holt, and I can't say anything to top that. That West Montgomery game was just incredible. I've never seen a team come back from being down 28-0, but you guys did it. You guys showed heart. That was phenomenal, guys. That was incredible. A big shout out to our late friend. You probably heard the golden voice of Steve Moon on some of those videos, and he loves Swain County football as much as anybody, and he loved calling touchdown runs. That made his night, and he was so much fun to be around, and we miss him to this day. But I'm gonna bring two of the guys up that you watched on that video. Lee Patel and Colby Heinek coming up to represent this great state championship team from 2011. Come on up, guys.
I'm going to go first because, as y'all saw, my public speaking's not the best, and Dr. Patillo's going to go next to kind of clean me up here. But you would think after all these years I would have prepared something, but I didn't. Because that's not really kind of how we roll. We're not the most professional group, we know that. I really wish we could edit out some of the interviews, but whatever. It feels silly to come up here and talk about this team in front of y'all. Like, Yeah, I don't feel worthy, I'll be honest with you, but I tried to think of it 4 words and use a lot of analogies. And you know, coming up through JVs, we had Coach Bob Marr, and we learned that you turn that butter and the cream rises to the top. Your season's like walking up those steps. You can't look too far ahead, you'll fall. So, now the first word's grit. We were gritty. Tyler broke his wrist at some point during the season, and he didn't ever let you not know about it. We were, I remember at Mitchell, we were kind of getting our hind ends beat, and Tyler scooped up a fumble, ran it back. I'm sure he felt like it was 50 yards. I'm pretty sure it was just 5 yards. I got in the huddle, and I hear Tyler, hey, call timeout, call timeout. We can't call a timeout right now. We just got the ball back. But, you know, looking back, I don't know how many of us played hurt, fought through injuries. To me, we were the definition of grit. The second word was brotherhood. And I got to talk with some of y'all a lot this week. And, you know, we were reminiscing on the good old days and kind of remembered some of us didn't like each other. You know, we'd go throughout the day bickering and arguing throughout the classroom stuff. But the second we got into the locker room, it stopped. We were there to do one thing only, and that was to win. And I think that says a lot about all of y'all's character. Third one was relentlessness. You just saw, hey, I said 4, I only got 3 words. I told you I didn't prepare. You know, 28-0. We were able to fight back and go to the state championship game. And, you know, I dwelled on this all week. I didn't want to speak. Jeff Marr called me this morning and told me I was going to speak, so here I am. You know, I can think of my personal life, and I know some of y'all, you know, I felt like I've been down 28-0. But you just keep going, and you keep fighting. And some of y'all may be down 28-0 right now in your own personal life. Keep going, and you keep fighting. Thank you.
I have to be good at talking. As you saw in the videos, Colby and Cody and those guys were doing most of the work, so this will be my big contribution. On behalf of our team, really just want to say thank you for putting this together. As you've heard Colby talk about, it has really just been a pleasure getting to see these guys and to get back together, to see their faces and their smiles. It's really an awesome thing. I'm going to try to hold my emotional composure. I'm going to try to go at least 1 for 2 on Patillo's not crying. It probably will not happen. I've told my wife on the way over this may be expected, so just bear with me. But yeah, you guys on this team, you mean a ton. I'd also like to say it's just cool to sit here and really just learn about the history and culture of this place. And congratulations on behalf or from our team to all the individual nominees tonight. It was just incredible to hear, you know, Mitchell Green. We grew up watching you guys win a state title. I remember being in 5th grade in Mr. Harvey's classroom, and some of you guys coming to read to us maybe the week of state championship game, and that just meant the world to us to see, you know, our real life superheroes. And one day we were like, we want to be like those guys. To Dr. Cosby, thank you for building that stadium we got to play in. That has been a sanctuary for me and my family. To Coach Reese and to my dad, so many great coaches have come through here. We got to have Coach Marr as a JV coach, and it's congratulations to you guys, and really just all of the people in the Hall of Fame that went before us. You guys and all the teams really contributed to our success, and you're really the reason that we're here today. So thank you to all of you guys, and congratulations. To as Colby said, to put words and to talk about this group of guys and this team, it's really hard to do. I was told I don't have an hour, so I'm going to be as concise as possible. And it comes up very often. People ask, well, at any point if we talk about our football team, the 20-0 game always comes up. And over the years, people ask, how did you guys do that? And I've never really reflected and taken time to come up with words to that. And I would taking the time this week to think of 3 things that really define the reason why we won that game and will really define us as a team. I will try to answer with those 3 things. Number 1, this word was mentioned a lot tonight, which is having a vision, which was just really cool to hear all the different visions tonight. I remember being a kid, sitting over here, listening to the 1989 team be inducted, and got to partake in that and watch those guys go in. And I just remember being a kid and thinking, man, how cool is it going to be when I get to do that with my group of guys, and to be here talking, looking this way is really a cool and just really special thing. And if since we're picking on Tyler, if you went back to 6th grade and you found little Tyler Cook and you said, hey Tyler, what's your senior year of football going to be like? Without a hesitation, he would say, we're going to be state champs. And if you doubted that, he would have probably had a fist fight with you right there, because that was always our expectation. So big reason we were able to make such a comeback, and what gave us such success, as Colby mentioned, we shared a common goal and a common vision. It was just so much fun to pursue that every day with you guys. Number 2, as Colby also said, and what's crazy is we did not communicate, obviously, as we both came up with these speeches probably an hour ago. The other word, or the second part, and what I say would define our team, is absolutely grit. These guys can probably tell you Drew Cook was famous for stomping around during games and smack talking to the other team. You ain't got the grit, basically telling them, hey, you can't hang with us because you're not tough enough, which most of the time was absolutely true. So when you have grit and you can really withstand being down like that, it makes it a lot easier to come back. And just a quick note, one of the coolest things about that comeback, you would think it'd be a lot like, Friday Night Lights. You have this cool halftime speech. It's very dramatic, very Hollywood. It was completely the opposite of that. The biggest thing I remember was just how calm everybody was, and you could just feel, as we got further in the hole, more of a laser focus. And I remember Cody Rich kind of saying, we were kind of chatting and said, hey, it's time to go to work or be done. So you have to have grit. I think that's for any team to be successful. And then lastly, number 3, and the most important, is we had so much love and support. You guys truly were brothers. I feel like I grew up having 15 different moms. There was never a game, a practice. There was Friday mornings at 11 o'clock. I don't know how you guys did this, but we would have meals from Tyler and Austin and Cody's mom. And being a 17-year-old high school boy, you can get to our hearts really quickly through food. And it's just funny what you remember, but that was so cool to be a part of a team, and just that brotherhood and that family. This state championship, as much as it is ours as a team, to you guys as parents and to everyone who supported us, that this induction is really for you guys. So thank you for all your support. Thank you.
I'm going to bring Bob Marr back up before Coach Blankenship finishes up here tonight. But gentlemen, what a run. Wow, that video set it on. We couldn't add a thing to that.
I'd like to take just a moment to express our appreciation to the board of directors for the work that they do. Thank the community for the support that you give us. It's unbelievable how we've been supported for 20 years through Swain County. I'd like to take this opportunity also as well to thank Colby for what he does. He does a great job putting this all together. And Joe Holt and others have had a part in that. And certainly, last but not least, I'd like to thank Mr. Gary Ayers. He's been the spokesperson for Swain Athletics as long as I can remember. I can remember listening on the radio, WBHN, on Saturday morning, to find out who won all the football games. And Gary would always be on there bright and early. And he's done a great job tonight. Would you please give these folks a big round of applause?
Players, if you'll come up right here.
Joe, if you'll bring the house lights up, please. Thank you.
Why don't you get your award and stay up on the stage, guys.
Sean Webb. Lane. Cody Rich. Tyler Cook. CJ Shepard. Sean Cipriano. Tim Woodard. Donald Dixon. Jacob Craig. Elias Huston. Dick Jones. Huston. Matt Manley. Green. Lee Patel. Any coaches on the 2011 team, y'all can come on down. Coach Patillo, Coach Manley. I think that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to ask the team to stay on the stage, and let's give them one more great big round of applause for their 15-1 state championship season. And again, thank you all, but as our team remains on the stage, we're going to close things out with our athletic director, Neil Blankenship, who always does a great job and is here. I think he comes before it gets daylight in the morning, and he never leaves until after dark. This guy puts in a lot of time and a lot of hard work. Our athletic director, Neil Blankenship.
Let me do homework first. Inductees, if you'll come up here when we're done so we can get some pictures. All right, the team, we'll fix them up for some pictures at the end for y'all to stay put. Okay, as you get a little older, you have ties to a lot of these people who get inducted in. Dr. Cosby, You and your wife fed me a lot of meals as we waited for late night basketball practice, and we played in that big old basement down there and hung out because we didn't have all these restaurants back then to go to, so we just went to your house, and our house was so far away, but I appreciate all that. Yeah, there you go. Mitchell Green, watching you play was phenomenal. You played it the right way. You played the Room Devil way. I always enjoyed watching you play. Gary Reese, your mom was one of the strictest teachers that I ever had in my life. I came from Cherokee Elementary, transferred down, and she straightened us out in a hurry, and she made a big impact on my life as far as discipline that way, and I understand why you are the way you are because of having her. Coach Patel, I can't thank you enough for the impact you've had on me as a coach and who I am, and put me in positions, leadership that I'm in today. And thank you for that. This football team, you don't appreciate things when you're younger, but getting to see y'all last night and tonight is it does the heart good. It does the heart good and lets you know why you do what you do. And I appreciate y'all. And there's a couple things they didn't mention about that game. They didn't mention the Mountain Dew game at East Henderson. The Cramp game where I think we lost everybody, but Sean Sid, that's where you made your debut. You went in as he's probably the fourth nose man on that D, and when it was over, he was our starting nose man from then on and out, and there was no questions asked after that ball game. Tyler, we did a pretty good job keeping your injury from Carrie for a lot of weeks, didn't we? Close the blinds, go in the office, tape his hand up. Those were some big things. And on the highlight, Cody Rich, the touchdown saving tackle, maybe one of the biggest plays in the game down the end there, chasing that kid down and at that game. After that, Mitchell and that one, those are two big touchdown saving tackles, and those are big things. But you watch those videos and you see those things, and it was great. But it's just good to see you guys and see what y'all become. And 10 years later, and here we are. It was a great vision, great thing. But I just want to, as the athletic director, congratulate all the inductees. We have such a great venue, Dr. Cosby, that you started and that we've added over the years. It is probably I know we've had people here before and they come by and look at our place and they're just amazed at what our venue looks like. The Tourist Magazine from North Carolina came in years ago and took a picture of our place, and it was voted top 100 venues in North Carolina. And why? Because it has a Hall of Fame there. You got the view from the home side. You got two concrete bleaching sides, and it's just a great atmosphere to play in. And that comes from our fans. We got Hall of Fame fans. And but we have a great place to play that started years ago, and it's still growing today. But thank y'all for everything you've done and been part of Swain High and sitting there. And we'll end it like we always do. Mr. Thomas, come on down. Let's sing his school song one more time. One more thing. Me and Coach Morrow went over to the middle school today, and we've got a lot of it. We dug out the old white uniforms. I know we gave you a room on screen night, so if I didn't find them, I'll keep looking. But as we go out, pick up your white jersey, give you that to take with you. Well, you aren't going to fit in it anymore, but hey, you make the kids wear it, all right? Wow.
What another night. Memories made throughout the years keep coming back. Thank you, guys. Congratulations to all of you. School song is a tradition, one for tradition. And so if you would, please join me in singing of our alma mater, Swain. Salute to Swain High. Swain High, we ever praise thy nobleness, and we have a feeling we can ne'er express. Thou art majestic, Swain High, 'neath the Carolina blue. We salute thee, Swain.
and sing praises that are due. Thank you.
Andy Turberfield, come down here. Where you at? Come on down. Andy was a great help to us in carrying us